And Reach on BBC Radio Stoke. Yesterday, one of the many people to announce that they would be leaving their government position came from the Department for Agriculture, Rural Affairs, DEFRA. And the key bit here, I suppose, is the environmental bit. And speak here of Jo Churchill, whose name might not mean too much to you. She wrote in her letter to the Prime Minister of resignation yesterday that she would be leaving because, as she put it, recent events have shown integrity, competence and judgment are all essential to the role of Prime Minister, while the jocular, self-serving approach is bound to have its limitations. Now, Jo Churchill's Member of Parliament for Bury St Edmunds. And you may well be thinking, Stu, this is all deeply fascinating, but why are you telling me this? Well, Jo Churchill was also the minister who was sort of, supposed to be at least, keeping an eye on what's going on at Wally's Quarry in Silverdale. Mick Salt is one of the campaigners against what's been happening at Wally's Quarry and with us this morning on BBC Radio Stoke. Mick, thanks for coming on this morning. How did you feel when you heard Jo Churchill had resigned? Because I know you and others have had dealings with her, haven't you?
Yes, thank you for having me on the show. I actually met her in person in December last year at Newcastle Fire Station to sort of discuss the Wally's Quarry situation. And she's telling me that Wally's Quarry is one of only 2 sites in the country that she receives weekly updates on. So, when Nigel Bowen was saying in the Sentinel at the end of May that everything is normal, that is not normal, ladies and gentlemen, to be one of the only 2 sites in the country that has to report directly to the Waste Minister.
And so she came up specifically because of concerns about Wally's?
She did, yes.
And what was she like? Did she seem to be genuinely interested in what you were saying?
Yes, and she gave us assurances that if the Environment Agency needed more of the mobile monitoring facilities that are currently monitoring the air quality around that site, that they were to just buy some more, not reallocate the ones that are currently pinned on Wally's.
Sounds like you felt like you got a decent hearing from her then, and maybe some hope?
Well, yes. So that's why we're a bit concerned about continuity now, because we had a reasonably good rapport with Minister Churchill, and we don't know who we'll be getting next. And but we also there was also resignation from Rebecca Powell, but I won't cry about that because she's the one that likened the Wally's Quarry situation to a school chemistry experiment, so that's no great loss.
Would it make a difference if someone local were to be promoted into DEFRA?
Well, of course, the obvious candidate would be Aaron Bell. I mean, he's from a scientific background. He's deeply involved in the Wally's Quarry situation. He's got an understanding of how the waste industry works and when it doesn't work as well. So there's actually quite a few people from across political spectrums. I've seen people, Green Party members even, giving their backing for Aaron Bell for such a role.
And you'd be okay with that by the sound of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
OK, we'll wait and see what happens. Obviously, we don't know who the Prime Minister's going to be yet. There are some new cabinet appointments I'm just seeing that are being made. So we'll let you know. Mick, thanks for your time this morning. Thanks very much for coming on. Dr. Mick Salt, one of the campaigners, Wally's Quarry. Just interesting. When the name Jo Churchill came up yesterday, I thought it looks interesting that this is the one minister, the Secretary of State wasn't dealing with this, was the Waste Minister who was responsible for it, and it was Jo Churchill, and now isn't. 0800 121 80 80 to have your say on just where we are politically, just how you feel about it. So many comments coming in. Interesting to read the pound